Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. So today was NFP, but it did not really do anything right. I mean, obviously, look at the trade. This should have been a marvelous trade, but NFP did not actually do anything at all. The less it could do is actually make me lose this trade right here. Now today I did get into about three trades, about three consecutive trades, right? This big trade right here, small one inside it, and this one right there. Now these first two trades were very good. Price was moving smoothly until NFP hit. When NFP hit, it took first TP but also took out this trade right here. Obviously, we dropped down a little bit and I found another entry again to add on to my trade. But you're obviously wondering, why was I looking forward for a sell when price was busy shooting all the way up? Now, I've said this countless times. The most important thing for you to understand as a trader is market structure movement. That is why any student, right? Any student that comes to me, you want to learn, the most important thing I need to teach you first is what? Market structure movement. And I do understand that a lot of you guys know how to trade. You just don't know when to enter and when not to enter. So it actually makes things very easy when I'm teaching most of you guys who actually understand what is going on. But let's look at these trades. Now, it wasn't just on this. I also took the same trade on BTC. It did also go to TP, and I'm still hanging on to that trade as well. Let's look at what actually happened. Now, when you look at the 4 hour time frame, it's quite simple. But you can see that this is very messy, right? So let me just take this out so that you understand the concept very easy. So you see that this was just a delusion, right? When I bring it back, you obviously be looking for buys around here, and even when price was coming back to this zone, you still be looking for buys because you think this is a trend line break and price is retesting it. Obviously, this could actually happen tomorrow and price will reverse all the way up. But was it a good place for you to execute a trade? Obviously not. Now, when you look at my charts, you think it's quite complicated. It's not complicated. It's one of the easiest way for you to understand what is going on. What do we have here? Market structure shift. What do we have here? A BOS. That is all. That is all you need to understand. Price shot all the way down, went up, couldn't take out this high, broke through, obviously giving us a what market structure shift, up, push back down. You realize that within this zone, we never took out this low. So there's no need for me to count these levels as part of the actual trend. These levels are just internal zones. That is why the trend starts from here all the way down to this zone. So when you're going to mark your levels, these are very simple, by the way. It's very simple. And most of you guys actually get it when I just start teaching it. You already understand what is going on. This is what you should have been doing instead of what you were doing. So sometimes it makes things very easy. But yes, when you look closely, nothing broke through. That trend was still intact. Price came all the way to this zone before we had a breakthrough. Now that trend is no longer intact. What do you think price is going to do? It's going to shoot all the way back inside and drop. Now, to understand where price is going to drop, this circumstance, I wasn't really using anything serious. I was just using the 50% of the trend movement. I was just using the 50%, nothing serious, just the 50%. Obviously, you can see the price came to it, retested it very well, right? Even gave a support and resistance around that zone. And what was I looking forward for? Just a simple drop. And that is it. I got into my trades. Now, the reason why a lot of you guys don't really know how to trade news is, I've always said it, news is fundamentals. It doesn't change the structure of the market. It rather adds to it or subtracts it. Why am I saying this? If the trend is in an uptrend, and we're having news that goes according to the market, it shoots price all the way up. Very nice. In doing so, it is adding volume to the market. But if it also rejects the market, which is if it goes in the opposite way, price is going to drop back down. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the movement of the trend has changed. No, even after shooting all the way back down, price will find its way back up and continue the trend again. So all you need to do when you are trading news is understand where the market is going. If you know the market is going down, you know how to trade it. If you know the market is going up, you know how to trade it, and you are always going to be in good trades. Now, today was very, very stressful for me because I'll execute a trade inside the zone. I executed one trade here. Price took out my first TP with this trade. It was around 10k around here. Price took it out. Also went up again and took out this trade around 2k thereabout. So after this drop, another entry on a smaller time frame, I got into my trade again. First TP was around this zone, second TP right here. So first TP was about 11k, second TP was about 12k here. Price came and took both of those trades as well. Very, very simple trades. So yes, you have to understand what is going on in the market for you to be able to execute better trades. One thing you also forget is, you see that I've marked all these levels. Why? I did not trade this, but I still have to know what I actually missed. I have to know that yes, this other block would have given me a good trade after this liquidity sweep. I have to know that this pullback would have given me a good trade. I have to know that these are liquidities. That's why I put my TP just below it or above it here, because I know within this zone there might be a rejection. So you always have to know if price is pushing all the way up, even if you don't want to be in the trade, mark those good zones, because when price comes back to those levels, there might be rejections, right? Very, very simple. So yes, this was the trades that I actually took, and this was just the analysis. A very simple analysis. You don't have to stress yourself. Now I did put this right here, this trend line right there, because I was looking at a trend line break. Even though I wasn't going to trade it, but if I was actually in the market very, very early above here, I would have actually caught a buy probably from this zone all the way up before I got this sell back down. But obviously, this whole week, I've only gotten only one trade, which is this right here. That's the only trade that I executed. And this was also a very good trade. It went ahead and gave me about, for this 60k in profit. I don't know if I can actually show it up. It was a very good trade, right? It was a very good trade. So you have to understand, you don't have to be in every single trend movement for you to be profitable, but you just have to know when to execute and when not to execute. Now, when we look at BTC as well, so I executed the trade right here on BTC, and I was hoping when news comes in, it should shoot price all the way back down, because news should be able to add volume into the market. But obviously, news did not also do that. You can see that we are rejecting all the way back up. Why did I execute this trade? The same thing, market structure. I told you guys, understand where the market is going. When you understand where the market is going, things becomes easy for you. Even if you are going to be in a wrong trade, and let's say the market is going to reverse, you are still going to get a trade before the reversal happens. So when you look at BTC, the chart that I was having, very, very simple chart. Obviously, you can see the price. Now, let me actually do the market structure movement right here so that you understand something. I come into the market to analyze my levels. I look for two things. Sorry, I look for three things. One, first thing that I actually do on these charts is to find my support and resistance on the daily time frame. After finding my support and resistance, I now go ahead and mark my market structure, and from there I can just go to the 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 hour, any time frame I want to find entry and execute. So with this trend, what is the market structure? Very, very simple stuff. You see that price shoot from here. We had a couple of rejections just around this zone right here, but from here all the way down, price shoot to this zone, making it one single trend. After this single trend, this is its low. So anything within this zone is internal range. So price shot all the way up, dropped all the way through, making this an external zone, because price has now fully did what? Shoot all the way through, right? Now, until price breaks above this high, everything within this zone is also internal range. Do you understand the concept? Very, very simple. So this is also internal zone. Within this whole range is just internal level. And what I'll be looking forward for price to do is come back down and break through below this zone as well. So you see that things become very, very easy when you actually understand what market is doing, or when just take your time and analyze the market. Extremely easy. So even though I was in trades right here pushing all the way up, but I knew for sure that if price does not take out this high, we might be dropping back down to take out this low. If price takes out this low, then we'll now have another what? Internal range movement before another drop. Do you understand how things work? Very, very easy and very, very simple. So you just have to take your time, understand what is going on in the market, and start executing better trades. Remember, if you want to be good at trading, you have to be good at market structure movement. You have to understand where the market moves. You have to understand why the market moves, and you have to understand where it is going. So if I know the market is going from here to this, every single trade I'm going to be executing will be going towards this zone right here. Very, very nice. Just like I knew market was pushing from here to here. So every single trade I was trading, every single thing I was doing was pushing all the way up to this zone right here. That's just it. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you guys for watching.